Athol with SA Footballer. And yesterday's Div 4 results are Edwardstown defeating Glenunga 13-8-86 to 11-10-76. Blair Gardens got over Westlake 19-10-124 to 14-7-91. Eastern Park got over Salisbury 20-19-139 to 4-13-37. Gepps Cross defeating Mitcham 19 goals 13, 127 to 11-3-69. And Kilburn got up over Pooraka 17 goals 16, 118 to 16-11, 107. And we're joined by the Kilburn coach, Luke McCracken. So what did you think about yesterday's game and your guys' performance?
Given the hot weather, 30-degree days, quite taxing on the lads, but good to get a win first up. Obviously playing Pooraka, well coached, Steve O'Connor, former Kilburn coach as well. Grand final side from last year, obviously promoted. B grade won the flag last year, so they're a good side. We knew it was going to be tough. We were reasonably confident going in, probably a little bit closer than I would have expected or would have liked at the end of the day, but yeah, good to get a win, mate, to be perfectly honest.
Do you think they had a lot of momentum coming off that grand final win, or do you think that your experience in the division was always going to get you guys over the edge?
Look, to be honest, look through their side yesterday, probably lost about 10 of their grand final side, so they probably didn't have quite the momentum that they would have liked. A few blokes coming into the side, one including Brad Mercer, probably the best country footballer going around the last 5 years. But certainly, our experience in Div 4 last year, we were reasonably successful last year, so I would expect most blokes would have tipped us yesterday, and we just got over the line, I guess. Yeah, so pretty happy.
How do you prepare for a team like that as well that are new into the division?
Look, given the amount of information that's on the internet these days, you can see all the clearances coming in, going out. You can see last year's results. Obviously, I know Ocker reasonably well. He coached Broster Districts, a former club of mine as well. And you can see the players coming in and out. So it's quite easy to prepare. Obviously, the weather and the other variables are pretty hard to gauge. We played 3 trial games, but yesterday just took a massive hit for our players, being 30 degrees. Obviously the same for them, but in terms of information, pretty easy to research on. But in terms of the variables on the day, we both have to adjust to them, I guess.
Now that the first game's over and stuff, and you can reflect back on your pre-season, how well do you think pre-season preparation was executed?
Look, I can't question our pre-season. We've done the same pre-season 2 years in a row now. We started in November, we played the 3 trial games, made it mandatory for every player to play at least 2 out of the 3 to make that commitment, and it held us in good stead in round 1. The guys love the pre-season. We actually got a personal trainer in to run a program for us, so the club didn't spare anything, so no excuses, and it held us in good stead yesterday. Yeah, absolutely.
Are there any new recruits you're excited about this year?
We've got probably half a dozen recruits that come into our side yesterday. 3 or 4 of them are actually returning Kilburn players, which is handy. 0 pointers in today's environment is really important. So, the Parks brothers, Chad and Billy, Darren Francis, and we obviously got Reese O'Keefe. A lot of people have been talking about Reese. He was on Carlton's list in 2013, played some league footy the last couple of years, and he ran through the midfield yesterday. So he's our highest profile player, but once again a 0 pointer at Kilburn Junior, and his grandfather's name's on the front gate. So really excited about having Reese on board for sure.
And you don't have any problems integrating these new players? Obviously you've had the full pre-season to get them on board, but is unit cohesiveness still strong?
Yeah, absolutely. As I said, 4 or 5 of those were Kilburn juniors, and played in some flags in 11 and 12 as well. So a lot of Facebook and social media. All these guys still interact. They still get on really well, and a lot of them are still local. So in terms of personalities, no issues. Integrating them into our game style and structures. That's why you start in November, obviously.
So now that you've got the proper on-field feel for where your team's at, where do you see this going for the rest of the season?
Yeah, look, we've got expectations to go well into finals. Last year we won a final and lost a final. So clear direction from the club is we have to make finals again, and ideally we put a plan in place last year to, I'm not going to hide the fact we want to make a grand final this year. We want to be in Div 3 next year. So we've got some clear expectations. The players know that, the club knows it. That's what we're all aiming for, absolutely.
Obviously that's getting a bit ahead of ourselves anyway, but even going into next week, how are you guys getting ready for that?
Yeah, look, so I start last night after the game. I get home, look at the results. Obviously, we're playing Salisbury at Salisbury, big oval. Shane Slater coaches them, so he's a well-drilled coach, and they play a pretty defensive game style, which doesn't allow heavy scoring. Obviously, it's a park bag against them yesterday, but we go in there reasonably confident again. We had a couple of good results against them last year. Not too many changes for them, so look, we go in confident once again. But yeah, as I said, with the amount of information that's out there, coaches pretty well start straight after the game.
And you mentioned as well about the club being completely behind you and stuff. What anything to say about the new any of the sponsors for this year?
Yeah, look, our sponsors at Kilburn have been fantastic for a long time. We've got a lot of long-term sponsors. A couple that have come on board that probably deserve a really good mention this year is Meredith Dairy. They've allowed us to get all new Guernseys kitted out for the A grade. Daydream Rules and Spas are fantastic, and obviously our long-term sponsors, which I've got here in Morn Team and North Point Toyota. SA Shoulder Paving, which is the Martin family, which have been long-time sponsors, Phil and Caroline. But yeah, we've got a really good sponsorship director in Kim Cotter this year. He's been there for a couple of years, but sponsorship's looking fantastic this year, to be honest.
All right, cool, thank you. Good luck for the season as well.
All right, thanks, mate.